Hello there, folks. My name is Spunks, and I saw Ron's Gone Wrong, and it was great. Going into this film, I wasn't really expecting all of that much. I mean, I was excited, and the movie certainly looked adorable and cute enough to satisfy me, but I wasn't sure if it was gonna be one of the best animated films of the year, something on par with like Luca or The Mitchells versus the Machines. But thankfully, the film managed to surpass those expectations, as I found this movie to be really enjoyable and a ton of fun. First off, I thoroughly enjoyed the story and the world of this movie. I thought the world building here was really good, and I thought the filmmakers did a really good job explaining how the world works. Basically, in this universe, kids have like these little robot buddies that are basically iPhones or tablets. They know everything about them, what they like, what their interests are, and basically, the kids are using these robots as substitutes for forming relationships with other people, except for Barney, who gets obviously Ron, who is the one robot who's malfunctioning and doesn't work as well as the other ones. And their relationship is the heart. It's just so adorable and wonderful to see this boy and his robot form a bond and them forming a connection and interacting with one another, because not only does it lead to some very hilarious situations, but it also can be genuinely sweet and touching. It may remind viewers of films like Next Gen or Big Hero 6, but I think the film does it in its own unique way that it stands out between the two. I also thoroughly enjoyed the message and thought it was handled very well about the importance of friendship and how important it is to form a connection and get to know each other and learn about other people's interests and what they like compared to you was handled very well, and I thought the filmmakers did a really good job diving into this topic, as it doesn't feel forced or preachy, and it doesn't really talk down to its audience. It's handled in a way that's suitable for kids and in a way that parents will also respect and admire what the film is teaching their kids as well. Speaking of the characters, they're all for the most part really likable and honestly a lot more developed than I was expecting. Of course, the two standouts were Barney and Ron. Like I said before, seeing them interact with one another and their dynamic between the two of them was just so adorable and so sweet. It was just so adorable to see the two of them with each other and forming a bond throughout the film, and Jack Dylan Grazer and Zach Galifianakis did splendid jobs with their performances. They really brought their A game and brought a lot to it. But the side characters are the characters that really surprised me, because they all started out as the typical characters you'd expect them to. You got the stay-at-home work dad, you got the school bullies, and the CEO who makes all of the robots for the company, and you think, okay, they're all just going to be two-dimensional and really add nothing to the plot. But the film actually manages to develop these characters and make you feel for them and understand their dilemmas and their problems these robots are causing them psychologically, that actually surprised me and managed to make me care about these characters a lot more than I did at the beginning of the film, which really surprised me. This movie is also hilarious. It is easily one of the funniest movies I have seen in a while. I laughed out loud several times throughout it. There's some really good slapstick, some really funny one-liners, and even the ridiculously absurd and crazy scenarios Ron gets both Barney and himself into are a ton of fun and made me laugh out loud several times throughout the film. Even to just the random things Ron says or does, it definitely got me to laugh more than a few times throughout it. And lastly, there is the animation, which looks pretty good for Locksmith Animation's first feature film. It's certainly not up there with Pixar, but as, once again, their first feature film released theatrically, I'd say they did a pretty good job. The look of the humans is very abstract and gives it a unique look. It honestly reminded me a lot of the movie Arthur Christmas, given how they're texturized and the look of them is very similar to that film, which makes sense since a lot of the staff and crew who worked on that film worked on this movie, and It looks pretty good. It gives the film a unique look, and it also provides a unique contrast with the simplistic modern design of the robots like Ron and the rest of the B-bots, which are also very cute. They are simple and adorable, and I would definitely buy that a major corporation would use these simple and cute designs for a robot to sell to children. It definitely seems believable that a corporation would use this type of design for a robot to be your best friend. And as for the rest of the animation, like the colors, it's really nice. I really like the colors, and the movements are very fluid and natural looking. There are some really good chase and action sequences in here that are a ton of fun. And like I said, the look gives it a style that makes it stand out above the other animated films releasing this year, which is also very good. But unfortunately, this movie is not without its flaws, and it does have a couple that keep this from being as good as some of the other animated movies released this year. First off, I feel that the film was way longer than it should have been. Like, I get what the point of certain scenes was, but sometimes the film felt like it was wrapping up and the film was finally going to end, but it just wouldn't end and kept going on for like another 20 minutes. And I definitely feel that certain scenes, like near the climax of the film, could have been cut out to really shorten the runtime and make it a lot more smoother in a sense. Another issue I had was that the villain was very weak, in my opinion, outside of the performance given by Rob Delaney, who did an excellent job and managed to even get some good laughs out of me. I felt that he was just a weak antagonist and unnecessary at that, as he was basically just the typical CEO of the company that's only there for the money and doesn't care about the morality of the situation at all. And the film felt like it really didn't need him at all, in my opinion, as it felt like he was very forced and shoved into the film. And my last problem with this film is that, of course, not every joke lands. There are some really bad puns and some juvenile jokes and potty humor that didn't really get a smile out of me, and some I felt went on for a little longer than they needed to. But even with those issues, Ron's Gone Wrong really surprised me. This is one of the best animated films I have seen all year. It's got a great story, it's got a great message, the characters are all likable, it's filled with tons of heart, it's hilarious, and the animation is pretty solid for the new animation studio, Locksmith Animation's first movie. I would definitely recommend that you guys go check this out, as I do think it's a ton of fun. I think the kids are going to really like it, and I think that the more older audiences are going to really enjoy and really appreciate this movie as well. So if you've got kids or just looking for another really fun animated movie, definitely go check out Ron's Gone Wrong, as I highly recommend it. And those were my thoughts on Ron's Gone Wrong. What did you guys think of it if you've seen it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links at the end of the video. And until next time, guys, stay sharp.
Hey there, have you heard about my robot friend? He's metal and small and doesn't judge me at all. He's a cyber wire bundle of joy, my robot friend. I like to dip and daddle with my robot friend. He's smart as can be and emotion free.